Welcome back to Jacob's Life. This is episode 2 of the episodes. I don't know what to call them. My thoughts, maybe. Episode 2 of Jacob's Thoughts. Um, this is a video I feel like that needs to be talked about, and hopefully you guys are understanding with this. But as you've seen from the title, it makes a little sense, but who knows? If I'm not making sense, that's totally fine. But I just hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think. You might be wondering from this title, what I'm talking about. And I think you should all realize that no one is perfect. We are not perfect. And the thing I want to say is that no one is perfect. No one in the world is perfect. Look what they did to the only perfect person, Jesus. He was crucified because he was teaching and he was perfect. So when I say we're not perfect, when I say that, I mean that we're not perfect. We mess up, we swear, we curse, we do things that we're not supposed to. We lie, cheat, steal, all of the above and whatnot. Um, and so we need to make it seem like we are some perfect people. Like people judge people for doing something that they do something two times worse, you know what I mean? Like I'll lie to you and then you'll judge me for lying even though you go behind my back and talk about me. You see what I'm saying? But you're judging me for lying even though you're doing something else that is not good. And I want to bring this into context, like if I mess up on a word or say something in a sentence and it's the wrong word or something like that, we need to correct them. That's how we are. We need to correct them. Or if like I mess up, say something, or I don't know, like I'm talking, I stutter. I know people are just making fun of the other people. That's fine. But we're always there to correct them or something like that. And I find it strange. No matter what we do, say I am talking normally with friends and I go about and say something, but I mispronounce the word, they're going to pronounce it right for me instead of just letting it go through, even though they know what I'm talking about. Like if I say caffee instead of coffee, you know what I'm talking about if I say caffee. Like in the if I'm just saying caffee, no. But if I'm saying, oh yeah, I like a dark roast caffee, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to pronounce my words and say, oh yeah, I need a dark roast coffee. I say coffee, but people say it differently. Or ice mocha, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But we pronounce words differently. We are different people. No one thinks the same, so why should we talk the same? It just makes no sense why we're all talking the same. But this is beyond the point. So we correct people even though we know what they're saying. The caffeine and coffee incident that I just talked about. And we try and live these perfect lives. I just said it right there. We try and live these perfect lives, and we're not perfect people. Like, look at Van Gogh or Da Vinci. Um, Van Gogh, not a good person. He ate paint. He was very hostile towards people. He was locked in a mental institution, but he made Starry Night and all the other artworks. Starry Night was actually painted from the window of his mental institution room. Look it up. But we look at these people. Oh, Van Gogh. No, I just said Van Gogh. Da Vinci. Da Vinci was like a cool person. I don't know. He dissected people, dead people, to try and study them. People think he's like cool now, but back then he was like probably super strange, dissecting people, frogs, animals, people. He slept with a lot of people. I think mostly men. That's why he drew mostly men. But that's totally fine. But he was not the perfect person. Some of his artwork he thought was good. The Mona Lisa, people think that's like the most amazing picture. It's not finished. Not to my knowledge. It could be finished. I have no idea, but I thought it was not finished. But yeah, the Mona Lisa, not finished, because he thought it was not good enough. And I find that a little strange that we think it's everything that we do, our art, content, music, furniture, whatever you make, poems, books, writings, all of that stuff, we need it to be perfect. But we ourselves are not perfect. So how are our artworks going to be perfect if we are not perfect? I hope that makes a little sense. And we could say, oh, I need this to be perfect. I need this to be perfect. But we're never going to get it done if we do. And if we're like, oh, it's got to be good enough. No. Because even by then, our good enough stature is going to be way too high or whatnot for us to even get it done. Just make it good. And then later down the line, you could work on it again and do it better because you've learned a little bit. The first time you do something, it's not going to be good. Never will be. You just have to keep practicing and practicing and practicing with it. But over the time, you'll get better and better and better. And I feel like that's good. We are not perfect. So we need to stop acting like we are perfect. And I think it's just a little strange that people think that they can be perfect. No. You're never going to be perfect. Your artwork, your content, your music, your furniture, your poems, your writings are never going to be perfect. And that is okay. Your clothing that you make is never going to be perfect, but people will like them, and that's totally fine. What you wear is never going to look perfect, but it's going to look good enough. And that's what I think we need to shoot for, is good enough. Not in artwork. Artwork we need to do like good. And content good. Because if we try and go for the good enough category, most of us, some of us can make it in the good enough category. But most of us will be trying to get in there and try and keep going with it. But eventually, you're going to either get super tired of it and not want to post that video, make that song, do the artwork, and you're just going to scrap it, or you're just going to label it as good and then post it. And I feel like that's totally fine. That's perfect. And right there, I feel like that is perfect. When you make it to your best of the ability and you're like, nothing more I can do. Maybe there is something, but I do not want to taint it. Because if I go on a little further, if I add one more stroke, if I add one more 16 bar, if I add another 5 minutes in this video, it's going to ruin the point of it. And I think when we post that, when we show the world that, that's when it's perfect. When it's done, but not fully done. When it's good, but not fully good. In our eyes, but then other people, going back to the Mona Lisa is not done. It's not done. And there's some parts of it that's like unshaded, stuff like that. Even with Da Vinci's other works, people think they're amazing, but most of them are not done. And we still think they're amazing. But it's funny to me because if he went out and tried to do them all, maybe he would have never made the Mona Lisa. But to him, they weren't done, they weren't good enough. But to us, to the other people that he was showing it to and all that stuff, it was good enough. It was perfect. It was amazing. And I think that's what we gotta step away from. We need to step away from our own vision. We need to look in through the audience's eyes and see that, all right, since you're painting this picture, you know every detail, every stroke, every mistake that you did. But the audience might not. The audience might just see a perfect picture. But to you, it's not good enough. And I hope this made sense to some people. I'm not saying you're going to be, I'm not saying you're not good enough. No. You can be good enough. You're just never going to be perfect. If you want to talk about LeBron James, he's not perfect. He has some off games. I don't know what else he does. I don't really watch him. Yeah, I don't know. Kobe Bryant, he wasn't perfect. Michelangelo wasn't perfect. Van Gogh was not perfect. These people weren't perfect. No. No way. They were not perfect. But they got stuff done and people enjoyed them. And they didn't claim to be perfect. No. They didn't live these perfect lives. No. So why should you? Why should you live this perfect life and trying to compete to be perfect even though that's not a reachable goal? Going back to the only perfect person that was on this earth. Look what humans did to him. He got crucified. That's crazy work. Sure, he was preaching stuff, but he was also living a perfect life and telling those people how to live a perfect life. But people didn't listen and he got crucified. And that's crazy. And people will judge you. That's totally fine. You judge them probably. And if people judge you, just know that they're judging you on something that you're doing, but they're probably doing something that's equal to or far worse than what you're doing. Who knows? Who knows? But I hope you guys enjoy and hopefully you ate well and slept well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Hopefully you have a good day or good night. And peace, y'all.